Three, two, one. I said tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. Nigga, let me count this money. Tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. Finna go invest this money. What time is it? It's time to go get that bag. These niggas thinking I'm a rap star. Bitch, I'm a hustler like my dad. I need stocks, cheese, checks, gold. Made a $250,000 and my neck game froze. Seen the bigger picture and I hit my pose. Made it off ye facts. Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry the Third. What a week it has been. Oh man, if you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star review. Please give me a 5-star rating and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast that you have ever seen in your life, and that will suffice. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a pod. Listen, it has been a long periodical week. There's been a lot of conversations that matter that's been happening. There's also been a lot of conversations that doesn't matter that have been happening. Luckily for you, here on the Arts Block Podcast, we are here to talk about both of those conversations. I'm here to give you both conversations, the conversations that matter and the conversations that not necessarily matters. I'm gonna give y'all the docket for today. We're going to talk about J. Cole getting compared to Tyler the Creator. You know, why can't we just appreciate art when it comes out? Why can't we just appreciate these artists, right? We're also going to talk about how streamers are saying that streaming is hard. They're saying that streaming is harder than working a regular 9-to-5. Don't know how I feel about that, but we're going to get to that. And then lastly, what we're going to talk about the Lil Durk situation, because I was actually asked to talk about that. I was going to let the Lil Durk thing slide because I felt like that was a lot of common sense for a lot of the artists that listen to this. But hey, I was asked, and since I was asked, I will deliver. All right, but before we even get into any of that, I think it will be best for us to just address the elephant that is sitting in the room with us. On Tuesday, some of us, a lot of us, a vast majority of us are very sad and disappointed with the results that happened on Tuesday. Some of you all are very happy and excited and ecstatic of what the results that took place on Tuesday. However, you know what I think will end up happening? I think that everybody else will catch up to how black people are feeling in the next 4 years. I think that when it's all said and done, and when everything that he wants to be put in place is in place, because it's not just that man won the presidency. He won the House and he won the Senate. I can't even say the man's name. Can't even say his name. But it's not just that he won the presidency. He won the House and the Senate as well. And the Supreme Court. There's 2 Supreme Court justice members that said that they want to retire under Republican presidencies. And here they go. So not only will he have a chance to add 2 more people in the Supreme Court, he has appointed a lot of judges in the federal courts. He has the House and the Senate. The America that you guys think y'all were going to get, for all the people that voted the other way, that didn't vote our way, but voted the other way, the America that you think you're going to get, that's not going to be the America that's going to be received. I'm letting you know this now. So when it happens, we won't be shocked. Well, you won't be shocked because we already know what's about to go down. So you won't be shocked. The America that you think or that you thought you were going to see, it ain't going to happen. Just letting you know. Just so you won't get your hopes up. Just so you won't sit there and be like, oh, but, you know, we're going to make America. And he We found out when America was great. He told us, he said back in 1798, America was great. Let me say that one more time. He told us back in 1798, that's when America was great. Think back to what was going on in 1798. Think back to the people that were being oppressed in 1798. Just think back to that time. And if you don't know about that time, do some research. Do some Googles. Do some Googles on the times that on the things that were happening in 1798. You know, I find it very funny that a lot of the demographic that you would think vote the other way didn't vote that way. They voted the way that they voted. And it saddens me. And you know what else saddens me? All of the gimmicks that are happening online with the people with the blue bracelets and all of the white people wanting to fall into all the black people's good graces because now black people are just done. We're just done with this whole let's equality for everybody thing. We're just kind of, it's just kind of tiring for us at this point. Because when we ask people to look out for us, y'all don't want to look out for us. But when y'all want us to look out for y'all, we always come through for y'all. Yeah, we're kind of tired of that at this point. And we're kind of just taking the back seat. We're kind of tired of that. And we're kind of just taking the back seat on that. But now everybody coming to our good graces like, oh, let's show the black people that we are in support of them. How do we show people that we are in support of this minority group of people? By getting your friends to vote, by getting your Trump supporter family members to vote, by getting your, by voting in your state elections so that like your mayors and your Senate leaders and all those people, they can be blue. That's how you could have, that's what would have helped. There's a march that's supposed to be going on in DC. To all my folks back home, I hope you're safe. Hope you're safe. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're okay. But they're supposed to be going on back at home, like a march or a protest or something. But the march that should have happened was the march on November 5th to the polls. Or the march before November 5th, whenever your early voting started in your respective state, whenever that started. That's when the march should have happened. But now we want to, come on. We have to protest. We have to get this right. We wouldn't have had to do that if we just got it right the first time, guys. We wouldn't have had to do that if we just got it right the first time. Hold on, let me turn my TV off because this distracted me. We wouldn't have had to do that if we got it right the first time. So now we're working backwards instead of working forwards. A lot of people are just now realizing what terrorists are and are understanding that, hey, the country that we're getting the import from doesn't pay the tariffs, we do. And where do you think the money for the tariffs are going to come from? It's coming from us. This is going to be interesting. These next 4 seasons of America are going to be interesting. These next 4 seasons of the world are going to be interesting. I don't know. I've been in a little funk these past couple of days. I haven't been very happy these past couple of days. There's not really much for me to be joyful and excited about for these past couple of days. There's not really much for me to sit and be proud of for these past couple of days. I have been kind of just sitting and contemplating and thinking about the future of my people for the past couple of days. I've been thinking about the future of my siblings' children, about my siblings. I've been thinking about the children, the young kids. I've been thinking about the women for the past couple of days. And I don't know. Feels weird. This whole thing feels weird. Shout out to my black folks though. Shout out to all my peoples. Almost 80% of black men voted for Kamala, which I love. The media made me think it was going to be otherwise, but it wasn't. We showed out. Black women, y'all always show out. Y'all black women, y'all always do the right thing. Y'all are so awesome. Y'all are so awesome. Y'all never not do the right thing. Y'all are so awesome. So shout out to us. I love black people. Sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black and everything that goes on. And to everybody else, time. But Drake say time heals all, but heels hurt to walk in. Sit on that. All right, first thing on the docket. Why do we keep comparing these artists every time another artist drops? So if you don't know, Tyler, the Creator, dropped Chromacopia, an amazing project. If you haven't listened to Chromacopia, it dropped a week ago. It dropped last Monday. It dropped 2 Mondays ago. It dropped 2 Mondays ago. And it has already sold over 500,000 copies as of today. So let's give it up for Tyler, the Creator. Shout out to Tyler. That's an amazing thing that he has done, an amazing goal that he has accomplished and that he has reached. Amazing job, amazing album, great project. Literally, if you want to hear my Chromacopia review, go up like 2 or 3 episodes and my Chromacopia review is there. Make sure you read the description though. So yeah, actually, you know what? If you want to watch a whole bunch of episodes of the Artspot podcast, be my guest. Do so. But yeah, I gave my review on Chromacopia. I think it's an amazing project. I think it's something refreshing that the world needed to hear. It's super honest. It's super a whole bunch of things, right? I gave the whole deep dive spill inside of that pod episode. All right. However, Anthony, I don't know how to say his last name. So if I butcher his last name, I don't really care. But Anthony Fantano, I never knew how to pronounce his last name, but the needle drop. The guy that does a whole bunch of the album reviews, that guy, he got on his platform and he says, or he claimed that Tyler, the Creator, deserves the big 3 spot over J. Cole. Why do we keep mentioning Cole in these things? When artists drop, why do we keep mentioning Cole? Why does Cole keep getting brought up when these artists drop? And I'm tired of it, to be honest. I'm tired of Cole getting mentioned with all these artists. All right, let me tell you why these arguments are stupid. I'm first going to start with explaining what the big 3 is. If you don't know, the big 3 in hip hop is Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole. Those are the big 3, right? Back when the blog era first started, those were the 3 top guys, right? That was going to carry hip hop into the next generation, which they did. And they did beyond what people could ever think they were going to do for hip hop. They extended they pushed the culture and the needle forward so much. It's though what those 3 did for the genre of hip hop is literally legendary, and they deserve all of the credit for that, right? But when you look at those 3 guys, you look at Drake, Kendrick, Cole, and you look at the type of music they make, then you really understand why they are categorized together. You realize, you sit and you'll be like, oh, I see why these 3 guys are categorized together, because I see what type of music that they make, right? You're keeping up with me, you're staying with me, cool. Now, we look at somebody like Tyler. Again, I love Tyler. I love Tyler's music. I love everything about Tyler. I love what Tyler stands for. I love his transition from like him being super trolly to now him being a grown man. I love it, right? I love it. But we look at the type of rap Tyler, the Creator, makes, right? And it's more of that Kanye, NERD, that kind of really obscure sounds and production and artistry, not really too focused about rapping at the best ability, but more focused about the art and the purity of the art form, right? Which is great, but you cannot compare apples to oranges. You are comparing apples to oranges. These 2 niggas make totally different types of music. And Tyler makes totally different types of rap music compared to a Kendrick or Drake. For example, them three niggas out of the big three can't make an Igor. They can't do that. But Tyler the Creator can. And I don't think Tyler the Creator can fucking make a damn Forest Hills Drive, an album that's that deep and that sophisticated. I don't think Tyler can do that. Not saying that Tyler is a bad artist, but it's just things that Cole and Kendrick and Drake. I don't think Tyler can create a To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think Tyler can create a Views or Nothing Was the Same. But I think Tyler can create what Tyler can. And not saying that Tyler can't create it, as in Tyler can't go into the studio and make some things up real quick. I'm saying that Tyler's creativity and where he is as an artist won't allow him to go there. Saying that he is too sophisticated as an artist to do that shit. Basically, that's basically what I'm saying. He wants to push the boundary so much that doing that it won't satisfy him. And you can hear that in his music. When you look at somebody like Cole and Kendrick or Drake, you sit there and you listen to their music, you're like, oh man, these guys love to rap. These guys love to rap. They're not thinking about like the artistry and the chord progressions and all that. They just love to rap. And if the beat sounds good, the beat sounds good. But mainly they're just focused on the raps, right? That's what the big three is. The raps. And Tyler the Creator is not out rapping Cole on Cole's worst day. He's not doing it. So why are we having these conversations in, hey, is Tyler, can Tyler take Cole's spot of the big three? Cole's spot in the big three is so cemented, it's not even funny. This is Tyler's first time selling over 200K first week. Cole has done this with every single album. It's not an album he put out that hasn't sold 200K. There's not an album that he's put out that hasn't sold over 200K first week. This is Tyler's first album that's done this. What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? What are these conversations that are being had? I feel like, personally, a lot of us, or a lot of people in hip hop, specifically in hip hop media, they really just like to talk. And they really just like to hear themselves talk. And I understand you have to get the clips. The clips are so important. But at what cost are you getting the clips? Because now I'm looking at you as a journalist like, dog, you don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. Or you're very misinformed. Or your music taste is bad. Why are you speaking on music? This is how I'm looking at you as a journalist. When you say ignorant things of such, it's telling me that you are very one-dimensional when it comes to rap, that you can only listen to hip-hop in one different way, that you don't have multiple different ears to listen to music, and that you only have one brain when it comes to processing the things that you hear, and that brain is telling you, oh, these are the things that I like, these are the things that I don't like, I don't know how to change the things that I like and don't like per artist. It tells me that you don't have no sophistication in the things that you hear. Your ear isn't sophisticated, and you are 40 years old, have been doing music album reviews for years without a sophisticated ear. Why the fuck are we listening to you? Tell me. I don't know. I don't know why we listen to any of these niggas. I don't know why y'all shouldn't listen to me. Y'all should go out and inform y'all's own opinions on the things that y'all like to listen to. Not listen to another. Listen, and I think part of the problem is, and I'm not gonna lie, Anthony, you can't control this. You can't control how you was born. But part of this, right, is that I'm just very angry right now. And that's just the part that's boiling in me. The part that's boiling in me and saying all this is coming out of anger, Anthony. And it's not that I don't like you as a person. It's not that I don't like you as a person. I don't know you as a person. So I can't say I don't like you as a person, but I don't like what you do. And if you feel like what you do is who you are as a person, then take that. But if you say, I don't like the Arts Block podcast, I don't like what Eric does, this isn't who I am as a person. This is an extension of me, but this isn't who I am. So, hey, if you don't like me or what I do, hey, so be it. But I'm just letting you know that I don't like what you do. Because you often hate on Cole a lot. And I understand if you don't like Cole, but if you don't like a nigga, don't be a hater on the nigga too. You don't like the nigga, cool, but you hating on the nigga is crazy. You acting like Cole isn't one of the best rappers in his class is crazy. You think Cole not being closer to the greatest rapper of all time than Tyler is being close to rapping on Cole's level is crazy. You not thinking that is crazy. Cole is closer to being the greatest rapper of all time than Tyler is rapping on his level. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're not listening to Tyler, the Creator, saying, oh yeah, this nigga is in competition for the greatest rapper of all time. But are we going to ignore that we were talking about Cole like that at one point? Are we going to ignore that those were the conversations that were being had at one point? Are we going to ignore that the conversations that were being had for years is like, hey, Cole might be the best out of the big three. Cole might have did all you niggas dirty. He might be number one. Are we going to ignore those topics of conversation because of the year that was had? What are we doing? What are we doing? Again, the clicks, the likes, all that stuff I get. I understand that those things are needed. I understand that niggas need to pay their bills, but at what cost? At what cost? Because now you look funny. Now you look dumb. And then I expect oh man, you know, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it as X, Y, and Z. Brother, look. If that's what you said, stand on that thing. Stand on that thing. But again, I'm waiting till the fall off comes out. But again, you might hate on that too, Anthony. I don't know. But you might. Your track record ain't looking good. Not gonna lie. Brother, you've been doing this for too long to be looking this foolish. You got me slipping, stumbling, tripping. Oh, I know that's not foolish, but that's the first thing that came out of my mind. Yeah, but you look foolish. Come on, Anthony. You got to do better. You got to do better, Anthony. And again, I can't say I don't like him as a person. I just don't like his music reviews, and I just don't like his music takes. I feel like a lot of his takes aren't good. But at the same time, why are we letting the white man talk to us about hip hop? And why are we letting him divide the hip hop community? Like at least let Joe Budden do that. Don't let Anthony do that. Don't let Anthony do that. Come on, Anthony. We got to be better, Anthony. Next thing on the docket. Why are you streamers saying that working a 9 to 5 is harder than streaming? Why is this the conversation? Why is this the conversations that are being had? Listen, there's a streamer by the name of Playboy Max. He got on stream and he said verbally, he said out loud, out of his mouth, that hey, streaming, in his opinion, streaming is harder than working a 9 to 5. And he didn't really have any evidence to back that up. And then streamers came online on Twitter, and there's a lot of streamers that have been backing him up, saying, hey, I agree. Streaming is harder than working a 9 to 5, and that a 9 to 5 is easier than streaming, right? And to a certain extent, I get what you're saying, but hell no. Hell no. Listen, anything where you hate what you do is hard. It's difficult, right? There's a lot of people in the world that are working 9 to 5s out of necessity and not want. Not saying that there's a lot of people that want to work a 9 to 5 and that are working their 9 to 5 dream job. Their dream job is to work the 9 to 5 job that they're working now. It's a lot of people out there like that, right? But there's also a lot of people that are working the 9 to 5 out of necessity. Not because they want to, because they need to. They need to pay the bills. They need to put food in their family mouths. They need to put food in their mouths. They need to pay rent. Shit, the world's expensive, right? However, you are privileged enough to sit in your room, to sit in whatever room, to go anywhere, matter of fact, turn on a stream and start talking to a chat and to a group of people that love you. And whether they troll or not, And yes, you're going to have some haters. And yes, you're going to have some trolls. And yes, you're going to have some toxic people in your community. But if your community is all toxic, if your community is all trolling, and if that's the only thing that you see in your community, I don't feel bad for you because, nigga, you built that community. That's the community that you built. A lot of content creators don't realize this. The people that follow us is a representation or reflection of who we are. However we got our audience is how we portrayed ourselves online. Damn, nigga, just stay on my leg. Goddamn. However we got our audience is how we portrayed ourselves online. So however you see me online, and if you like what you see, you are now part of my audience because you're like, oh, I like him. I agree with him. I think he's cool, whatever the case may be, right? Same thing with somebody else. If you like the trolling stuff, and if you like sitting there watching people troll and watching people clown and watching people joke, right? That's what you like. And the nigga's like, hey, you know, I was just doing this to get the clips. I was just doing this to get the, you know, the views or whatever. I don't really want to do stuff like that. You're going to sit here and be like, nah, nigga, dance. Like, if a nigga got famous off of dancing, then he started making music and the music sucked, you gonna be like, nigga, go back to dancing. What's going on? Same thing with the streaming thing. You created an audience off of who you portrayed to the internet to be. So now that you have an audience full of trolls, an audience full of people that are rude or disrespectful or whatever the case may be, right? Now that you have an audience full of that, you can't look at anybody but yourself in the mirror. You know why? Because this is a you problem. Because there's plenty of content creators that don't have that problem. And now you feel pressured to do things because of the audience that you have built. Kai has said this perfectly, right? And shout out Kai Cenat for doing his thing on stream. Dog doing the 30-day subathon. He's about to beat the world record. He's about, just in case you don't know, he's going to beat the world record. I got him beating the world record in less than 2 weeks. I got him beating the record in less than 2 weeks. That's my over. I got him. If it's 2 weeks, I got the under on 2 weeks of him breaking the record. I'm not gonna lie. He's on pace. Like, he's doing crazy numbers. Like, he woke up today with 10,000 extra subs. He's at, last time I checked, he's at 270,000. He's at 270,000 subs. So shout out to Casanat. Get him to 327. Because I think the world record is 326. So get him to 327 so he can beat the world record again. But you have people like Casanat who tell you guys, hey, your community shouldn't dictate when you do this thing. You dictate when you want to stream. If you don't want to stream, if you don't want to explain yourself or a situation on stream, guess what? You don't have to, because you control the stream. You control this, right? There's niggas at their job that don't control anything. That's what I'm trying to say. You'll have full control over what you do. Nigga, you control your hours. You control where you record. You control how you record. You control for how long you record. You control so much. You don't have to edit nothing. You don't got to do nothing. But guess what? There's people at their job that has to wake up at a certain time, clock in at a certain time, clock out at a certain time. Niggas got to tell them to take their lunch break. Niggas got to tell them when they can take their smoke break. Niggas got to tell them when to use the bathroom. Niggas got to tell them a whole bunch of stuff. And y'all are fortunate to be able to tell yourselves when to do things. I don't want to hear that streaming is hard. You're sitting down all day reading the chat, playing video games, reading the chat. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm actually, streaming is hard because it is hard to entertain a group of people via online. It is hard to keep and gain and maintain the viewership of people for long periods of time, right? That's a hard thing to do. So I'm wrong for sitting up here and saying that streaming isn't hard. But streaming isn't harder than sitting at a desk job that you don't want to be at all day. Streaming isn't harder than that. In this economy, I be seeing people on Twitter posting that they applied to 500 jobs before they got accepted to one. Before they got accepted to one job, they had to apply for 500 jobs. People that's been unemployed for over a year. Nigga, you think streaming's harder than that shit? You think streaming's harder than niggas that's in the unemployment line looking for jobs? Get out of here, dog. Y'all get to stream with girls. Y'all get to stream with celebrities and artists. And just because y'all can't take a little backlash on Twitter from the community that you have built, Now you looking like, oh snap, nah, this is hard, this is tough, this is difficult. There's something I want to call you or you guys that agree with this, but I'm not going to say it. And this is coming from somebody that has never worked a 9 to 5, but has seen people who have been miserable at jobs that they've worked at and are also creators. People who create, but are also very miserable at the jobs that they work at. And people say, man, I will never go back to that 9 to 5 job. If I would rather struggle doing this than go back to that 9 to 5. And you're telling me that is hard? That's harder than doing a 9 to 5? That's harder than not liking your job? The actual workload of a 9 to 5 might not be hard, but at the same time, it might be. But at the same time, I'm speaking off of the fact that y'all niggas like what y'all do. You guys like your jobs. There's people out there that don't. So be grateful for the job that you have. And again, there's people out here saying that, oh, this is just a clip farm. That people are clip farming and that this is just bait, rage bait to get the conversation and get the people going, right? But so how motherfuckers won't find me. And I get that, and that's cool. But again, like I said last time, at what cost? Like, at what cost are you doing all this rage baiting for? At what cost are these conversations happening? At what cost is this happening? Like, because now niggas is looking at you like you crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, this whole rage bait culture doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. This whole clickbaity, like, it went from clickbait to rage bait to clip farm. It's confusing to me. It doesn't make sense to me. You niggas don't make sense. Just make good things. Just make good things. Should it be? Is it that simple? Should it be that simple? Shouldn't it be that simple? Just make good shit, and we will respect you for making good things. Like Tyler just made good art, and people are respecting Tyler for making good art. No gimmicks, no antics, no drama, no nothing. He just made good art. Why can't y'all do that? Why can't y'all just make good art? Oh, because y'all don't know how to make good art. Oh, because y'all are insecure. Oh, because y'all scared if y'all branch off and venture off and start doing something else, that the audience that y'all have gained are going to start not follow you because, oh, you're going to suck at that thing that you're doing. Oh, you're scared to pivot. Oh, so you're going to continue doing the little corny things that you're doing and the champ things that you're doing. Or you're going to continue to do those things. Oh, okay, heard you. Next thing on the docket, shout out to Lisa for suggesting this. Lisa, if you just so happen to be watching this and you wanted to hear about Lil Durk, so hey Lisa, here you go, Lil Durk. Lil Durk is potentially facing life in jail for an alleged hit for hire. Now, this story happened a couple weeks ago. I wasn't going to speak on it, but I was asked to speak on it. If you guys want to do your own research on what happened, please do. If I mess up anything during this spill that I'm about to give y'all, please correct me in the comments. All right, so Lil Durk, after the passing of King Von, Lil Durk was doing pretty good, right? However, I guess like all the slide for Von stuff online got to him. Quando Rondo and his group was out in California. Lil Durk allegedly hired some people, wired some money to people for them to do a murder for Quando Rondo, allegedly. However, while booking the flights from Chicago to LA, the person that books all the Lil Durk's flights and stuff, he used the OTF like account and OTF credit cards, like Lil Durk's company and all that stuff to book the flights. So once he booked the flights and stuff, they got there and they like booked a rental car under Lil Durk's name or whatever the case may be. So once they got to LA, they did the murder or whatever, and now a couple years later, he's caught. And on top of that, a guy that Lil Durk was really cool with, or is really cool with, I don't know, was really cool with, he has been wearing a wire on Lil Durk for a couple of years now. This is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Here's my thoughts on this. You are too rich to be this dumb. You are too rich to be this dumb. There's no way you can have this much money and be this, like, not intelligent. And you have too much money to just be doing this, period. You have too much money to be doing hits for hires. You're a multi-million-dollar man, a multi-platinum selling artist. You are a Grammy award winner, you have too much money to be doing this. You have too much prestige and awards to doing this, and you have too much to lose to be doing this. I understand somebody very important to you passed away in a very tragic way. I get that. Yes. However, the gangster thing wasn't to go out for the family. Or the gangster thing wasn't to go out and get your lick back. The gangster thing to do was to take care of his family, take care of his kids, be there to see your kids, be there to see your kids grow up and mature and have kids and getting married and all that. That's gangster to me. That's what's gangster to me. You sliding for your mans ain't gangster. Cause, okay, boom. One, y'all got the wrong nigga. You got the wrong nigga. That's number one. And again, all of this is alleged because nothing is set in stone yet. But do your own research. You got the wrong guy. That's number one. After you got the wrong guy, you're going on songs and talking about it and talking about stuff, and then you have people around you that's wearing wires for the feds. And again, like, dog, there are people around you telling you not to do this. Wallow explicitly told you, hey, forgive. It was hard for him. Wallow was telling you the story about how hard it was for him to forgive his brother's killer, but he had to learn how to do it. Are we not listening to the OGs now? Is that what's happening? I don't want to live in a society where we're not listening to the OGs, where we're ignoring everything the OGs got to say. I don't want to live there. I don't want to live there. It's just crazy. That's not. And you had an album set to release in a couple weeks. I think on the 22nd of this month, of November 22nd, you had an album set to release. Like, come on, dog. Like, there's so much for you to lose in this situation. You don't win here. You don't win here. You don't win. And that saddens me because you're so talented, so much more potential, so much more things in your career you had to accomplish. All for what? And I know people are going to sit here and be like, oh, Eric, you just don't understand. You just don't understand the streets. You don't understand that. And you're right. I don't understand. And quite frankly, I don't want to understand. I'm cool and I'm okay with not understanding. That's the thing that y'all don't understand about me. I'm cool with not getting it. I'm okay with that. I don't want to get it. But I just know personally people that have the money and the means to change people's lives, and you decide to, nigga, you just got honored in Chicago with the key to the city. And now look how this saddens me. This saddens me. And to the guy that was wearing a wire, you're wild, boy. You're wild. You're wild. I get it, but you're wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. I get it, but you're wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah. Free Durk. Please stream Durk's album that's coming out. I don't care if you listen to that joint on mute. Just stream it, listen to it, buy it. If the album is still coming out, I don't know how that's going to work, but if the album's still coming out, which I'm pretty sure it's going to, because the label never loses. So if that album still comes out, please stream it, please support it, for the kids' sake, for his children's sake. Not saying that they need the money put up, but just so they can have a little extra. You can never not have enough, right? But yeah. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of the Art Spot Podcast. Before we get out of here, I will give y'all my Dead or Alive. What is Dead or Alive? Dead or Alive is a segment on the podcast where me or the artist gets to choose other artists that we would like to work with that is dead or alive. We can choose one artist. We can choose 100 artists. This is my pod. I'm going to do whatever I want. I don't know. Dead or Alive, Dead or Alive. I'm going to choose La Russell because he just did Tiny Desk. I'm going to choose Shaka Khan because she got a tiny desk. Choose Juvenile because he got a tiny desk. I'm going to choose Duran Bernard because he got a tiny desk. Big Sean, I love Big Sean's tiny desk, so I'm going to say Big Sean because he got a tiny desk. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm going to choose Jasmine Sullivan because she got a tiny desk.
I think Ari Lennox got a tiny desk too. All right, yeah, that's it. All right, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I've been Eric Curry III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. You can follow the podcast at Arsenal Block Podcast. If you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, make sure you go on your favorite podcast platform and just make sure you give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast that you have ever heard in your life. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a podcast. Remember that I love you. God loves you. Remember that artists never die. Do something that you love every single day. Do it well, do it with meaning, do it with purpose, do it with passion, do it with love. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all, boys. Peace and love. I am out.